introduce you to Josh just for a minute. I've actually heard amazing things. He works with some of my friends that are coaches, and they've said nothing but good things with his mentorship. And so I can't remember. Oh, I got connected with Josh through Lindsay Weiss, and she's like, you have to have him post a call for you. He's amazing. He'll really light a fire under your coaches. And so I hope you come into this call with thick skin, because sometimes you need to hear exactly what you need to hear, and you need to hear it now. And it might not be fun because it's going to push you out of your comfort zone. So put on your thick skin and your big girl pants tonight, or big boy pants, and get ready to take some notes. But Josh works with John Maxwell, and he is the founder of Legacy Leadership. He currently serves on the John Maxwell's Team Presidential Advisory Council. He specializes in putting personal development and leadership into terms that Beachbody coaches can understand and apply to their business. He mentors 20-plus Beachbody coaches one-on-one, including 4 current or former top 10s and 4 superstar diamonds. He runs online training groups with over 400 in attendance each month and speaks regularly for team calls, Super Saturdays, and team retreats. So his message will inspire you, encourage you, and challenge you to grow from the inside out and build the life and business that you've always wanted. So now is the time for you to get ready to take some notes. And remember, any of the notes that you take, you're going to put legs to and get them into motion when we get started tomorrow. All right, Josh, I'm going to mute out, and I'm going to let you take over because we're all really excited to hear from you.
Okay, I got myself unmuted. Thank you, Emma, for the introduction. I'm going to hit go live. And just so you know, I don't have the screen on live, so none of you are actually on my live feed. What I do when I do a team call sometimes is I set my phone up above my laptop. So people, I'm looking at you. If you go to my page to try to watch me live, you'll actually be kind of seeing me look at the floor, which is kind of awkward. But hey, it allows people to get some extra content, get some extra encouragement. So thank you, Emma, so much for letting me speak for your team. I appreciate it. I hope you guys came ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to implement. I love that she said put some legs to it tomorrow, because that's what it's all about. I always tell my clients, actually, that if there is no homework, we just had a good chat. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really care to have a good chat. Like, don't get me wrong. I love people. I love to talk to people, but I want to move forward, right? How many of you want to move forward on this call tonight? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. We got lots of people. Emma, you got a team that's ready to move forward. I love it. So let's do it. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you about a few things. Facebook Live. P.S. I'm looking at my laptop down here, so I won't be interacting. I'm sorry. Just interacting with Emma and her peeps tonight. So I want to talk to you about something I've been talking about a lot lately in the Beachbody community, because I feel like it's so powerful, and I feel like it's something that everyone needs to hear. I want to give you specifically a 3-step formula for how you create success. Now, I said create success, not how you find it, not how you inherit it, not how you have, I don't know, the government give. You create success. Honestly, if I just said that, we could be done for tonight. That you create success. Emma doesn't create it for you. Whoever her upline is doesn't create it for you. Carl Deichler doesn't create it for you. No one creates success for you. You manifest that stuff. You do that yourself. And I want to give you the 3-step formula for how you do that. And then talk about a few simple things of why people aren't fully doing that, and why people aren't going all in and just making that happen. Okay? So I'm going to close out my Internet Explorer, or Safari Internet Explorer. Who has Internet Explorer? I don't know. I hear some beeping going on in the background. Here's your 3 words. Are you ready for these 3 words that are going to change your life forever? These 3 words are this: be, do, have. Write them down. Please write them down. Don't just listen to me. Write them down. Be, do, have. These 3 words are about to change your life forever. Because every single one of you wants to have something different in your life, right? Right? Or you wouldn't be on this call. I really, really, really hope and pray you did not get on this call tonight to just hang out and have a good time. I really hope you got on this call tonight because you want to change. You want to change your life. You want to change your family. You want to change your future. And you want to change the people around you. And I don't mean change like get them to be like you. I mean help them become the person they want to be, right? Everyone wants to have something different. But what I found is that most people are not willing to do something different. Excuse me. And most people are not willing to become something different. Be could be short for become or believe. Either way you look at it, it's who you are on the inside. So I want to walk you through this 3-step process, and I actually want to go backwards, okay? Instead of starting from be, I want to start with have, and I want to walk you backwards. Number one mistake that humans make, the entire human race sucks at this, guys, is that we want to have something different, but we are not even willing to do something different. We've all heard the quote by Einstein, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is insanity, right? People wake up every single day, eat the same junk, put the same crap into their bodies, and then can't figure out why nothing's changing, right? People sleep in every single day and then can't figure out why they can't get healthy, why they can't work out, why they can't make it to the gym. People watch Netflix for 10 hours a day and can't figure out why they can't find their purpose and why they don't feel fulfilled and why they're not moving forward in life. There's very few things on Netflix that you can spend 10 hours a day on that are going to help you move your life forward and change anything. I know there's a few decent documentaries, but most of them, you could probably get through all the decent ones that are actually educational in about 1 week. Maybe. If you want to have something different, you have to first of all be willing to do something different. And I love the way Dave Ramsey says it. If you live like no one else now, later you can live like no one else. And what he means by that is if you are willing to make the sacrifices right now in the present that most people are not willing to make, that later, when everyone else is struggling and trying to catch up and trying to make up for lost time, you'll be enjoying life. For many, many years, I was fighting and struggling, trying to figure out my purpose, trying to figure out what to do, and then started a business, still lost, still trying to figure out what to do. But I was willing to make the sacrifices to do the things that no one else was willing to do. I get people that reach out to me on a regular occasion, some from, that do other life coaching and speaking, some that are other different kinds of entrepreneurs and say, Josh, how'd you do it, man? How'd you grow your business? What'd you do? All the crap you weren't willing to do. That's what I did. And I did it every freaking day. No excuses. There's no magic formula. I wish there was, man. I would pay for that magic formula, but there isn't. There isn't a magic. The only magic formula I have found is this little something you guys like to call the vital behaviors. That's it, guys. It really is a magic formula. It's the same formula I built my business on. The main reason that I get along with Beachbody Coaches so well is, number one, I love the company. I do all the workout programs, not all of them. I don't do Shaun T's or Shalene's, only Siggy and Tony. Sorry, I'm not a cardio fan, and turbo. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what Shalene is ever doing. Somehow, even though it's not a dance routine, it always feels like it's a dance routine to me. Like there's like all these intertwined weird moves. I can't keep country heat, not happening for me. But I love the philosophy of Beachbody and the same vital behaviors that you are encouraged, whether you do it or not, to build your business on are the same principles I built my business on. Working on myself through personal development, being a product of my own product, which means growing my own leadership, and inviting the crap. Erica says country heat is for everyone. Oh, you're right, Erica. I'm making excuses, aren't I? I need to stop making excuses and go bust out my cowboy boots and do some dance. How many people would watch the video if I put on some cowboy boots and went live for some country heat? I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. If nothing else, it'll help out my affinity score. So I'm down. I'm down for anything that helps my affinity score. If you want to have something different, you got to be willing to do something different. Now, let me give you a taste of your own medicine. Okay? Are you guys, is everybody good? Everybody love me? Just promise me right now that no matter what I say tonight, you'll still love me. Okay? Or at least that you won't hate me. Okay? Beachbody coaches are so good about making time for your workout and having a no excuses mentality. At least most of you are. I know, some of you sometimes maybe struggle. We're all still human, right? But you go on social media and say stuff like this is my favorite thing in the world that Beachbody coaches say. Gosh, I love to use your medicine against you. You say things like this. Next time you say, I don't have time, try instead saying it's not a priority. Right? How many people posted something similar to that? Raise your hand. Come on, raise your hand. Raise your hand. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's a great quote. I love it. I do. Because you say, just like Erica said to me about country heat, anyone can do this. If I can do this, anyone can do this. There are no special people. Am I right? There are no special people. Anyone who makes a decision and has the determination and makes it a priority can work out, eat healthy, lose weight, and become a happy, confident person. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right? Anyone can. There is no such thing as special people who are born with some natural talent or natural ability to roll out of bed early in the morning and be excited and work out and eat healthy and meal prep. There are people who make it a priority and there are people who don't. Love me? Promise me you love me because it's coming. The same people that say anyone can work out, anyone can meal prep, anyone can eat healthy, anyone can lose weight, anyone could make it a priority if they decide to say crap like this. I can't get motivated to work my business. I don't have time to work my business. I guess I'm just not one of those special people that has that outgoing personality. I don't know how to message people. I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh, I just can't seem to post. I just have no inspiration lately. I don't even know what to say. The same people that say anyone can work out, anyone can meal prep, anyone can eat healthy. There's no difference between me and you make excuses left and right about their business and somehow have convinced themselves that only special people can become successful. And you are lying to yourself. Because the next time you get on a call with Emma or anyone else in your upline and you say, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the motivation, I don't know what to say, what you're actually saying is my business is not a priority. That's what you're saying. You found 1,000 different ways to make it sound like it's something on the outside that's gone wrong. But the truth is, it's something on the inside. Remember what I said at the beginning of the call. If you hear nothing else, hear this. You create success. You create that. Can't nobody else do that for you. No circumstances, nothing that the government does, nothing that your job does, nothing that your spouse does or doesn't do, nothing that anyone else does or doesn't do can have any power over your future or your ability to have success. Only you can choose what you have by making the decision to do what you know you need to do. Just like your health journey. You have to, number one, make a commitment to do it. And number two, do the right freaking stuff. Can I say that number two again? Do the right freaking stuff. There are 4 vital behaviors, not 40. I'm just being real here. Too many of you are saying, I'm not focused. I can't figure, I'm just so overwhelmed. So many things going on. I don't know what to do. Because you're not doing the right stuff. You want to hear? You want to hear how you become an incredibly successful Beachbody coach? You become a product of the product. You invite. Notice it said 3 times, not once. You do personal development and you recognize other people for their success. If it does not fit into one of those 4 things, quit doing it. Because you see top coaches running Facebook ads and you think you need to run Facebook ads. I did not start running Facebook ads until my business became 5 figures. Until my business became 5 figures a month. I built it to a 5-figure a month business with no ads. Then I said, hey, my business is taken off. And I now have extra funds to invest back into my business and learn new ways to grow. Here's what most of you do. You hear one thing that a top coach does, not understanding what season they're in. And you think if I could do that one thing, that maybe that would give me my shortcut to success and I could be like them. There's no shortcut to success, guys. Again, people who say there's no shortcuts to health and fitness are trying to make shortcuts left and right in their business. Right? There's no magic pill to fix health. There's no magic pill. You will not find one single supplement that can replace working out and eating healthy. Not even Shakeology can do that. Not even your own product can do that. A supplement is called a supplement for a reason. Do you know what the word supplement means? It means add on. It doesn't mean replace. So many of you are taking supplements like Facebook ads, brand training, blogs, websites. All of these things were meant to supplement your business, not to replace your vital behaviors. But here's the thing, guys. The vital behaviors are so boring. They are, man. They are tedious. Don't nobody wake up in the morning and go, I cannot wait to invite. Gosh, that's the greatest part of my day. Nobody wakes up. Here's what you wake up and do. Man, is there some new way, some maybe more fun way that I could just skip all that invite, and get somehow, like those top coaches do, get like 100 messages a day. Surely they have some secret thing that they do. And if I could just take enough different kinds of trainings that teach me enough different shortcuts, maybe I could skip that step. Wouldn't that be great if I could skip invite? Yeah, it would be really great. It would be really great. But you can't. You can't. Unless you have 100,000 followers. And you don't. So you can't. Now, I do have clients that put in the time and the energy and the effort to build up a following of 100,000 people. While they were doing that, they were invite the whole time until they built up such a huge following that they didn't have to invite anymore because they could just post and say, who wants to join me? But what you don't understand is how many hours they put into building that following. Did you hear what I said? They went, I'm talking like 12 months of just grinding away at building that following, and it wasn't profiting them a bit until they had done it long enough that the compound effect caught up with them. But even those people, while they were building that network, were messaging people every single day to hit the numbers they needed to hit along the journey to get them to where they are today. Do all top coaches send out 100 messages a day? Not necessarily. But when they were trying to become a top coach, they did. And 100 is an exaggeration, okay? I don't want to make everyone feel like that's the only way to be successful, because it's not. It's not about how many, it's about how consistently. It's all about consistency. The compound effect says what? Little things done over time equals great results. But most of you aren't willing to put in the time. You're not doing the right stuff. You think, and you get on calls with Emma and you're like, Emma, I don't get it. I work like 5 hours a day and I still never hit Success Club. And I still can't seem to rank advance. And I just don't know what's wrong. You think you're putting in 4 or 5 hours a day. But what you're really doing is playing on your phone 4 or 5 hours a day. Am I right? I can tell by your faces that I'm right. Now, I've spoke on, I don't know, probably close to 100 team calls in the last year. I'm not stupid. I know what you guys are doing and what you're not doing. And what you're doing is playing on WordSwag, Rona Design, Canva, PickMonkey.com, and you're not doing invite. If you want to have something, you have to do something. Let me just drop one more truth bomb before we move on to the next point. Can you handle one more truth bomb before I move on? Is that okay? You say, I don't have time, but what you really mean is it's not a priority. Let me take that one step further. Okay? Just hold on for a second. Promise you love me. You say you don't have time. What you really mean is my family is not a priority. Did you catch that? Most of you signed up for this business because you wanted to change some circumstances in your family. Am I right? If you're like me, you worked a crappy job for 9.5 years detailing cars where you had no paid time off, no paid vacation, no insurance. You worked on commission, which means you worked your butt off every single day to detail as many cars as you could in an unair-conditioned detail shop. Yeah, that's not fun. You're right, Emma. That's not fun at all. And you never had extra money for your family. You never went on vacations. You checked the bank account before you put gas in your vehicle. Some of you might know this trick that I know, that if your account only has $5 in it, yeah, that's happened many times, you can run your debit card as credit at the gas pump and it only charges $1 now and charges the rest in 3 or 4 days, which allows you to get as much gas as you need to, even though you only got $5 in your checking account. Anybody know that trick? I see a couple people that know that trick. I'm talking about the wife is picking out the groceries while I've got my phone out calculating every single thing we buy and then having to calculate the tax at the end to make sure when we get to the register, we're not embarrassed that we have to put something back. Anybody else ever been there? Now, if you have been there and you say, I don't have time for my business, what you're really saying is my family is not a priority. I was sick and tired of telling my kids, we don't have enough. We can't do that. We can't go there. You can't have that. And I got to the point where I decided I don't care. No more excuses. I can and I will. And so I began to work on me, which takes me back to the B. You can't have something unless you're willing to do something. But it's very, very difficult to do something until you become something. And what I mean by that is every single one of us on the inside have something that we believe about ourselves, which projects what we believe about the world. And unless we are willing to work on that, we will find ourselves trying to do, and falling over and over and over and over again. Because on the inside, we really don't believe that we should have it or that we could have it. I posted a quote last night from one of my favorite books. It's called As a Man Thinketh. It's super old school. It's in like King James, but it's an incredible book about how what you think manifests what you get. And basically the quote went like this. I might butcher it because I don't have it up in front of me right now, but you can go to my Instagram and get the proper wording. Basically it said, people want to have something, but they must first become something. Something like that. I think I butchered it. Again, you can check my Instagram. My phone's up there, so I can't even look at it. But basically the point of it was, here it is. You don't get what you desire, you get who you are. There it is. It came to me. Light bulb. You don't get what you desire, you get who you are. Every single one of us desires a better life. We desire a better marriage. We desire to have better relationships with our kids. We desire to be healthier, happier, more productive, more fruitful. We desire more money, but we don't get what we desire. We get who we are. And what I mean by that is this. You change from the inside before you ever change the outside. One of my very first presentations that I ever gave, I said this quote and I prayed that it was actually true because I had no proof of it at the time because my business was nothing. I mean, I don't even know if I might have had one single client at the time, and I was putting on my first live event, and I did a whole presentation based on this one quote. And that was, your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. I believed it with all of my heart, guys. I told you I'd worked a crappy job that I hated. At some point, I decided I needed to make a change. I played in rock bands for many years, and I just realized I needed to create a better future for my family. I wore headphones all day while I detailed. What I decided was, Josh, if you can listen to 8 hours of music a day, why not listen to 8 hours of podcasts a day? And I began to listen to Lewis Howes, to Zig Ziglar, to John Maxwell, to audiobooks, and I just began investing in myself like crazy. The quote again, Carrie, was, your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. And I just kept investing in myself, to learning and to growing. And with time, I began to see myself differently. I began to see the world differently. I began to see people differently. And I truly believed that even though I still had zeros in the bank account, and not like the good kinds where there's a number at the front of it, I'm talking just zeros, if anything, maybe negative numbers. I just kept believing that if I would keep growing, that eventually, somehow, some way, by growing on the inside, it would change the outside. And thank God I was right. 1 year into my business, I had 2 clients. Profited about $500 total my entire first year in business, guys. That's horrible. It's kind of funny now, but it wasn't funny. Like, it wasn't funny at all. It was horrible. It sucked. But I kept believing. I kept working on me. 9 months into my second year in business, I quit my job and almost tripled my income my very first month. And since then, my business has grown exponentially. It's more than quadrupled since then. Why? Because I kept working on the inside. And it kept changing the outside. Too many people are only looking at the outside circumstances. And another great quote from that same book is, many people want to change their circumstances, but few are willing to change themselves. It all starts on the inside. So I'm going to give you a few things. I already went over one of them, A lot of people say focus is holding them back. I want to give you a few tips on focus, okay? I already talked about it a little bit. Stop doing all the stupid crap, but let's get a little more specific, okay? Just like your workout, I want you to write down right now, right here, what time of the day, what exact time on your schedule is your business. I want you to write it down right now. Number one mistake people make on their health and fitness journey and in their business is they don't have a scheduled time, which is kind of like going to the grocery store without a list. I do it all the time. I never come home with anything I need, and I always get a bunch of crap I don't need. Write it down right now. What is the time of the day I'm working my business? Number two, you don't have to do this right this second, but the second this call is over, you better complete this assignment. I want you to write down in order, starting with the thing you avoid the most. I want you to write down in order what is on your checklist for your power hour. If the thing you avoid the most is invite, it better be number one on your list. Which, by the way, your power hour needs to come before your Netflix time. Okay? When I was detailing cars all day, I came home from work. Before I was allowed to do anything, I read my Bible, I did my workout, and I did my power hour for my business. And until those three things were done, the TV didn't get turned on. I didn't go outside to play with my kids, even though I really wanted to. I got those things done first, and then I had the rest of the evening to do the things, play with my kids, spend time with my wife. But I got those things done first because I knew if I didn't, they'd never happen. When bedtime strolls around, the last thing you're going to do is eat your frog. Am I right? You get that crap done first, okay? So one, you got to have a time. Two, you got to have a plan. And it starts with eating that frog. And if you have extra projects that you want to do, like learning how to do Facebook ads or working on a website or working on a blog or any of those things, you do not touch those projects until your vital behaviors are done, okay? Then you can spend some time on those projects. Does that make sense? Okay. To be honest with focus, other than that, you just have to make it a priority, just like I've been talking about. So here's one more thing that I want to hit up, is I think a lot of people, the reason they don't believe, and this is one of the main reasons I want to hit this up, the reasons a lot of people are really struggling to believe and really go all in is because they're still trying to figure out, is this the right thing for me? How many people have ever had that thought? Just give me a little head nod. You don't have to raise your hand, just a little head nod. My first 6 months in business, every single day I was asking, man, is this really the right thing? Is this really what I'm supposed to do? I grew up in a very religious home where we believed that every single person has like a divine purpose for their life. And so I wondered every single day, is this like the thing for me? Or is this just another distraction? Because we were always told there are God things and there are good things. And just because it's a good thing doesn't mean it's a God thing, which is another way to really confuse young emotional people into thinking that every single thing you do has to be a God thing. Some of you are laughing. Some of you probably grew up in a religious home like me. I don't have anything against religion. It's just that, like anything else in life, we screw some stuff up because we're humans, right? We have the same parents. I love it, Emma. So my whole life, I'm taught everything is either black or white, whether anyone said that or not. That's how I took it. So when I joined the John Maxwell team and decided to become a life coach instead of a preacher, everything in me is going, oh, bro, you missed it. You missed it bad. You are so far out of God's will, dude. You are about, like, in your life is about to fall apart because you're not in God's will, right? Because Emma said she had the same kind of parents, I feel a little bit more freedom now to actually be honest here, right? Everything in my life is about to fall apart. And guess what? It did. Everything fell apart. Everything my first year in business fell apart. And then I read this book by John Maxwell called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. And it changed my entire philosophy on life, not on religion, but on life. Because in this book, John Maxwell says it this way, that everything that happens in life, most people think is a win or a loss. But the actual reality of it is that it's only a loss if you do not learn from the experience. Everything in life is either a win or an opportunity to learn. And so my first year in business, I did something crazy, guys. Like, this is absolutely crazy. Like, some of you are going to think I'm an idiot. After I read that book, I said, okay, if losing doesn't mean losing, it actually means learning. I'm going to make it a goal, since I don't know anything. Like, I'm dumb, guys. I don't know nothing about business. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to make it my goal this first year in business to lose as many times as I possibly can so I can learn something. I'm not kidding you right now. I made it my goal, kind of like the whole go for no thing. Well, I just went all out with that philosophy on my entire business. I'm going to do as many possible things as I possibly can so that I can fail as many times as I possibly can, so that I can learn and get experience, so that hopefully at the end of the year, I can finally know what the heck I'm doing and can do something good. Too many people are trying to play it safe. And instead of being willing to fail, all you're trying to do is win. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to win. You are not going to win until you failed enough to learn and grow and evolve into someone who actually knows how to win. Does that make sense? How many people have won championships in their rookie year as an athlete? Almost no star players have ever done it. Michael Jordan was drafted in '83, won his first championship in '91. Why? Because he needed to lose a whole lot of ball games to figure out what the heck he was even doing. Sure, he was athletic. Sure, he was the best player in the league, but he didn't know how to win until he had lost enough to learn. Your business, your life are not about finding the perfect thing. They're not. It's not about finding the right thing. It's about embracing the thing that you have right now and learning and growing so that you can become a better person. Because remember what I said earlier, be, do, have. The person you become will manifest the things you do and give you the things that you have. And so many of you are so worried about, well, if I do it, will I do it wrong? Like, when you're trying to invite people, you are so freaking worried about saying the wrong words. And the problem is, you're never going to know what the right words are until you fail. And then you learn with time. How many of you, your very first day of working out, just got up and just killed it just like that? No, you probably sucked. In fact, you probably had cotton mouth. You were probably, if you're like me, like when I used to run track and play basketball, like spitting loogies all over the place because you got such bad cotton mouth. You are exhausted. You are tired. You are falling down. You're doing a whole lot of moves with Tanya your first couple of months, all them modifiers, right? But with time, you kept learning, you kept growing, you kept getting better. How many of you ate 100% perfect your very first challenge group? Gosh, I don't eat 100% perfect my 45th challenge group. Why? Because we're constantly failing and learning. Erica eats 100% perfect from the get-go. She's a superhero. My point is this, guys. Stop worrying if Beachbody is the right thing for you. Stop worrying about if you're the right person. There's another one. I may not be the right person. I don't have the personality. I don't have the following. I haven't lost all my weight yet. I don't have 6-pack abs. I don't have a background in health. I don't have a background, blah, 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 blah. Excuses. Just like anyone can become healthy, anyone can become successful. But you have to get over your excuses and decide that you're worth it, that your family is worth it, that your future is worth it, and that all of the people sitting around on couches right now, depressed, full of anxiety, lost their identity. I'm not talking about someone stole their credit card. I'm talking about real life. People lose their identity because we do not have a purpose. We don't know what the heck we're doing here. And they need you to quit making excuses and reach out to them and offer them the opportunity to change their life forever. And if you don't, who will? Because Emma don't know them all. Only you do. Emma doesn't have your story. Only you do. Emma doesn't have your influence. Only you do. Only you can change your world. No one else can pick up that baton for you. No one. If I decide to go MIA for 6 months, who else is offering personal development and leadership from the outside to Beachbody Coaches? Who else is doing that? Nobody that I know of, guys. Nobody. No one. I don't know that anyone else thought to. I didn't think to. It just kind of happened naturally. If I go MIA, this is not arrogant, guys. This is not me being arrogant. This is me understanding my place of value. If I go MIA, there is a whole world that goes without a voice to inspire them and lead the way. I'm no special person. I don't have some extra divine calling that you don't. The same is true of you. If you go MIA, and if you are MIA, there's an entire world of people that are looking to you that have no voice, have no inspiration, have no one to lead the way. So make a decision to make your business and make your future and make your family a priority. And I want to help all of you do that. I want to help all of you to get over your excuses and make it a priority. If you haven't heard, I guess Emma mentioned it at the beginning of the call, I run training groups that are just for Beachbody coaches. I have one called The Art of Recruiting. The Art of Recruiting is specifically, I call it a boot camp. It's 4 weeks of just punching you in the face and saying, get over yourself and go do this crap. And in it, I give you very, very specific, practical how-tos. There's homework assignments. There's daily check-ins, just like your guys' challenge groups. There's a checklist with daily behaviors that you're supposed to do. There's extra videos from some of my clients to give you some kind of like, I have the outside perspective, they have the inside perspective. Guys, I'm telling you, this group has changed lives. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just understanding my place of value. This group is normally $199, which, by the way, is a freaking steal with the time and energy that I put into it. But right now, coming off of Summit, there's a ton of people that need this. There's a ton of people that want to take their business to a new level and just need a little extra help. So until Friday, it's actually only $100. $100. Oh, and by the way, did I mention I'm throwing in an extra 4 videos for the people that sign up this week as well? I have a training group that I created called 4 Weeks to Believing in You. And it's a whole 4 weeks of digging into your beliefs and learning how to change your belief system to believe on the inside what you want to have on the outside. So here's what you got to do. You just go to my website, joshuacoates.com. I'm going to type it up here in the chat for you. Let's see here, Joshua, see if I can spell my own name. joshuacoates.com. And you have to use the code at checkout, Summit in all caps. Summit, S-U-M-M-I-T. Surely you can spell Summit if you can't spell my name. It's got to be in all caps. You can get that group, The Art of Recruiting, or Building Your Legacy, which is an ongoing program. It basically comes with a once-a-month live call. The next one's this Sunday night. And then it's got weekly check-ins. It's not as intense as The Art of Recruiting. It's not meant to be as intense, because it's an ongoing program as opposed to like 4 weeks of like punching you in the face, okay? It's normally $275 for a year. Right now, you use the coupon code SUMMIT, you get it for $100. Right now, guys, for $200, you can actually get The Art of Recruiting with the videos to Believing in You and year-long mentorship. I had a couple people, and I'm glad Facebook Live is watching this because I want to say this publicly. I had a couple people get absolutely pissed off at me because I marked down the trainings that they had paid full price for a month ago. And you know what I have to say to that? If you have a problem with me making it easier for people to change their life, you are working with the wrong mentor. Because my mission is to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. And if you don't have the same desire to help people in any way that you possibly can, don't even sign up for any of my trainings. Please don't. Because my mission is to help you help people. And if you're going to get upset that I give somebody a better deal than what you got, I really got to wonder if you actually want to help people. Because I bet you any of you, if you could, would mark down Shakeology to half price for all of your customers any day, anytime, because you know it would change their world. So anyways, just throwing that out for Facebook Live. If you're watching and you're pissed at me for marking down prices, just don't sign up for any of my groups, please, because I want to help people. So anyways, that's all I have. Sorry for the little soapbox at the end. I've got a few minutes to hang out for Q&A. If you want, Emma, that's totally up to you. I forgot to bring my water in here. I got dry mouth, but I can hang out for a little bit if you want to.
You can run and grab water if you need, but no, that was awesome. I was typing as you're talking, and I literally took 3 pages of truth bombs right and left coming at us, and I just think this is exactly what we needed just to hear, because you're right. Beachbody's made it really simple to succeed, but that's what's hard about it, is that the tools are out there, but very few people get to work with the simple tools on a daily basis. They put other things first, and so just having that reminder that we all can be successful. It's an even playing field. You just got to separate yourself from the pack by being consistent. I do have one question, and that was, what would you recommend for a book or a podcast on building confidence? So I think sometimes that inner belief thing you were talking about can really get in people's way. Like, I'm not good enough. They compare themselves. We're on social media. It's noisy. Like the confidence thing. What would be your go-to books or podcasts? Either one.
So it kind of depends. It's called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Now, this book is not specifically about believing per se, as much as it is about not making it sense. Because I do believe there's a certain level of needing to work on yourself and working on your belief. But then I also think there's a certain level of just deciding to do it, even though you don't believe. Right? Like my whole first year of business, in the back of my head, no, actually in the front of my head was still saying, you can't do this. There's no way. You don't have any business experience. You have leadership skills, even though, I mean, I kind of did, but my head didn't think I did, right? You don't sound like anyone else on the John Maxwell team. You You don't look like anyone else on the John Maxwell team. They're all signing 6-figure contracts with corporate businesses, and you don't even know what the heck a corporate business is. No, my whole head is trying to say, you can't do this. But I just did it anyways. So on one hand, it's not a book specifically about belief, but it's a book about doing in spite of not believing. As far as specifically working on your belief, to be honest, I've never read a book specifically on that. Beachbody Coaches is a book called You Are a Badass. That book specifically deals with actually belief. I personally never read it, so I can't really recommend it because I don't know from experience, but I've heard lots of awesome stuff about it. So I don't know. Does that help at all, Emma?
Yeah, it really does. And I actually was going to say, comes a point where you just have to suck it up and just get to work. That's how you get really confident, with anything, is that you just put it into motion. But sometimes especially when you're getting started and you're starting to implement some of these newer things, especially the first month or two, if there was a book that you recommend. Yeah. But anyway, thank you. I wrote down the 10X rule.
Okay. Make everyone read it. To be honest, Emma, I have listened to that book probably 10 times. Every single time I travel to go speak, that's what I listen to, in the airplane. I mean, it just gets me so fired up. Honestly, a few of my training groups were because I was listening to the 10X rule, literally on the way home from the gas station. And in literally 4 minutes of listening to this guy, I came home and was like, all right, we got to do something. We got to go to we got to do something bigger. We got to do something better. And dude, it gets. Oh no. Here, I'm going to type it to her. Emma, you froze.
Oh, I'm unfrozen now. Sorry.
Oh, there you are. Nope. Okay.
I'm back.
It's all good.
We literally moved into our house, a new house today, and so I'm still figuring out internet. So
awesome. Well, congrats on the new house.
Thanks. Who else has questions for Josh? We don't want to keep him all night, but if you have a specific question, go ahead and type it in the chat or unmute. Either way is great.
My girl Sarah Tri will be proud of me. I usually speak for an hour and a half, and I think I cut it off at 45 minutes tonight. That is a world record for me. So you did record this, right? So that I can actually send proof of this to Sarah? Okay, good.
Of course I did. It's the Olympics. You're setting world records here, right?
I know, right? Who else has questions? Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I know the second this call is over, you're going to be like, man, I wish I would have asked him this, right? You can't have what you've never had if you won't do something you've never done. Unmute your freaking line and ask me a question.
Okay, I have a question, Josh.
There we go. What's up?
Okay, so I actually tuned in late, and my success partner actually today and goes, where are you? Get on right now. I didn't quite catch your background. So what experience, what is your background? A little coach, this may be a repeat, but just real quick, have a background in sales or where did you start?
So I'm not a Beachbody coach, if you didn't catch that.
Okay.
I'm a speaker, coach, and trainer on the John Maxwell team. So I have no Beachbody sales experience. I only have the experience of growing my own business, which has grown just like yours, and then finding out what things my business had in common with your guys' business. I mentor about 20 Beachbody coaches one-on-one. So I've spent a lot of time hearing about your guys' business, learning about your guys' business, and understanding your business so that I could see what the different intersections are of how your business is similar to mine. And so what I try to do is teach from an outside perspective, from my own experience and my own learning from John Maxwell and other trainings that I've been through on honestly just how to build business. Which, again, comes down to believing on the inside, doing, and then finally having. So my background, for the last couple of years has been life coaching, leadership training, running online training groups, which are now that bio that I sent you. I got to update the bio like every week because I think I've got 600 or 700 in training groups. Sold them shoe cleaner and running shoes, that kind of stuff. So no awesome experience to be honest. I mean, that's why I doubted so much my first year in business. Like, dude, you've never been successful. How the heck are you going to become successful? How you can help other people become successful? I said, I don't know. I'm just going to do it. Just going to do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And that's why I believe anyone can do it. You know, the only thing I did was just got out and talked to more people than anybody else did. That was it. There's not anyone on the John Maxwell team that I'm more talented than. I promise you that. But my business has grown faster than I don't want to say all of them, because I mean I don't know all of them, but faster than a lot of them because I was willing to talk to more people. I did more. I still say there's not anyone I know that works harder than me other than my girl Brittany Powers. I think she puts me to shame, but other than that, I don't know of anyone that works harder than me. Come on, more questions. Oh, okay, sorry. There's questions over here on the right. My bad. Where is your accent from? That's the best question I've ever been asked in my life. That's a good question. I don't know. I grew up in Kansas. Now I live in Oklahoma. To be honest, no one in Kansas or Oklahoma sounds like me. For some reason, I just talk. Know why? Maybe when I was a kid, my out of my nose. I don't know. I just do. It's whatever. I know I sound like I'm in a freaking country song. I apologize. Your wife is a coach, right? Technically, my wife is a coach. She is actually more of a discount coach. We have 4 kids. We just had a newborn. She ain't got no time to be messaging people because I'm in here doing this all day and night. So she kind of got the crap into the stick in the sense that my business took off enough that she kind of had to take the mom seat, which really sucks, but at the same time, it's what she wanted to do. She wanted to have the time for the baby, and she has the freedom to do so, which is really cool. She doesn't obviously need any type of income because my business does just fine. How do you overcome rejection? Oh, my favorite question in the world. I feel like everyone I invite and they don't join or respond means I am not equipped to do this business. Ready for some more truth bombs? This is my favorite question in the world. Now, let's just go through how it actually happens, okay? Let's be real here. When you say, would you like to, whoa, Emma, your whole face just disappeared. That was like some Star Wars stuff right there. When you say, hey, I'd love to have you in my next challenge group, most people, not everybody, but a lot of people at this time are still like, yeah, that sounds good. I would love to get healthy. I would love to lose weight. It's when the price comes up, right? It's $150 for that challenge pack, and people are irate. Oh my gosh, it's $150. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And then you feel like they're saying you and what you have to offer are not worth $150. You feel like they have rejected you and your service and the quality that you have to, the value you have to provide people. But here's what I want you to, I need you to here. When people say no to $150, they are not saying that you aren't worth $150. They're saying they aren't worth $150. Did you catch that? People tell me, oh, I have a Facebook ad that runs for the Art of Recruiting. And I'm talking, it's got 900 comments on it of people that want more information. And everyone is gung-ho about the people drop off. Just like that does not mean my training is not worth $200. What it means is they don't value their enough to invest $200. Now, see how that changes my whole perspective? Because instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I must suck, I start to think, man, That really sucks that they don't value their family and their future enough to invest money in themselves. So the way I deal with rejection is by realizing no one's rejecting me, they're rejecting themselves. And that helps a lot. Okay? Let's see. Have you been told you look like Lincoln Brewster? No, I've never been told I look like Lincoln Brewster. Never, ever, ever. One time someone told me I looked like Adam Levine, and I just took that and ran with it. I like that one quite a bit. It's probably not true, but I like to believe it's true. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Is that the only questions? I think it is. Do you believe a solid, focused power hour is really enough to build a successful business? Kristen, yes, I do. I absolutely do believe that a solid, focused power hour is enough. In fact, I have one client that I've been working with for almost a year now. When I started working with her, she was a 2-star diamond, making, I think, around $40,000 a year. And she is very, very strict to doing one very focused power hour a day and having the rest of the time for her family. But by being focused and by being intentional, in the last almost year, she's gone from making about $40,000 a year to making $100,000 a year. That's pretty cool. She has a 6-figure business working 1 hour a day. Now, does that mean she never, ever, ever, ever outside of that one focused hour where she starts a bunch of conversations, she sets out her posts, she does her personal development? If you're smart about it, give me 20 minutes. I mean, I can easily message 20 people. You message 20 people 5 times a week, that's 100 people. Times 4 weeks a month, that's 400 people a month. Times 12 is, what do we got, like 4,800 people a year? If you can talk to 4,800 people a year, you're going to make some pretty decent sales. Not to mention, those people become coaches who make their own sales. Remember, the business is not as much about how much you can do, but about doing the right things consistently over and over and over. Now, with that being said, if your business isn't growing at the rate you want it to grow, or you have a deadline or a timeline of, say, hey, I'm having a baby in 6 months, and when my baby shows up, I don't want to have to go back to work, so I need to make this happen in the next 6 months. It's totally okay to do 2 focused hours or 3 focused hours. It all depends on your season, what you have to work with, how quick you're wanting to go there, and how bad you need to go there. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. I don't know what happened to Emma. I think her internet just cut her off. No, there she is. Okay, you're down at the bottom of my screen now.
I know. My battery was dying. So I had to run over and get my cord. Oh, sorry. It's been a day.
All good. It's all good.
But we're all here. Yeah. No, I love that question that Kristen just asked, because it is true, but you have to do the right things. Like, you can do that. That's how I built mine. I had no experience either, but I had 3 little kids under 5 years old, and I had an hour. That was it. Like, go, focus, go. And you can do it. So thank you for reinforcing that. But it'll be interesting to see who takes that and actually implements it, and who's going to continue to make excuses and play on, with picture editors and call it work.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Picture editors do not make money, just like having a pretty menu at the restaurant doesn't make money. If nobody walks into the restaurant, I don't care how pretty your menu is or your walls or your counters, none of that crap matters if nobody walks in the door. Anything else? I logged on late. Can you throw the recommended book title out there again? Yeah, the book title was 10X Rule. 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Do yourself a favor and get the audiobook. The dude is from Nolans, and he has this just like no BS attitude, and there's something about hearing his voice that I swear just like lights a fire in me. And you can't get that same fire by reading it with your own voice. You got to hear his voice, man. It's incredible. Did she do 1 power hour to get to 2-star though? Yes, she did. That's how she built her business from the very beginning. And that's how she still does it today. Anything else? Emma, you got any final thoughts you want to throw in?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so my final thought is, just a question that I have for you is that, what do you say to people that say, I'm just going to give this 3 months and see if it works? You know that philosophy, like half in, half out. What is your, like, I'm just gonna try it for 3 months.
I say they're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Because the compound effect does not work in 3 months. If it did, we'd all be freaking loaded, man. If all it took was 3 months to become like successful, I mean, geez, we'd all have 6-pack abs. We'd all have $1 million. I mean, I'd have a Rolls Royce out here in my driveway. 3 months is not, I mean, for me, it took an entire year just to figure out what the heck I was even doing. So here's my problem with people that say I'm going to give it 3 months. Here's my problem is I believe in this. I'm going to give you another 3-word formula. Okay. I like little 3-word formulas because they're easy to remember. Purpose plus passion equals profit. And if you say, I'm going to try it out for 3 months, you just told me you are not passionate about it and you have not found your purpose. There's no way in the world you're going to profit. There's just no way. If you're trying it out for 3 months, you are not passionate about anything, which tells me you're not even being true. Like how that's not going to work. You have to find something. John Maxwell says it this way, and I think 1,000 other people have said it this way too. You have to find something you love so much you would do it for free, and then get so good at it, people will pay you to do it. That's why I didn't get paid for my first year. I was trying to get good enough to get paid. But I found something I loved so much that all of the one-on-one free consultations that I gave away that didn't profit me anything because they didn't sign on, I still had the best hour of my life because I love coaching people. I love speaking into their life. I love so much when someone says, Josh, man, that just really helped my life. That inspired me, dude. I feel so encouraged right now. I feel so excited. You give me that, and I don't have to have a paycheck. Now, obviously, at some point, it probably needs to make a paycheck, or I'm going to have to, like, give up my house and car and stuff. But you have to find something you love enough that even when it's not making money, you are still fulfilled. And if you're trying it out for 3 months, what you're telling me is this doesn't fulfill me, so I'm just going to give it a try and see if it happens.
That's awesome.
I think it froze again, Emma.
Yeah, I did. Every time it's like, what? Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. I know that this has been something that a lot of people will walk away from with incredible aha moments and could be pivotal turning points in their life. You know, sometimes you have to hear the right thing at the right time, and that becomes life-changing for you. So I'm excited to work with you. I'm all signed up for your recruiting course. So talk to you later.